All right, we're recording. I'm just going to go over the answers if you got something wrong and you want to see me actually navigate how I got there. I'll be happy to do it for you. All right. So for number one, you should wind up after going 3 units down and then reflection over the y. You wind up at -7, -1. Can I see a show of hands if you got that right? I need to get an idea of if we're getting it or not. All right, you know what you could do too is before I go over it with you, try doing it again and see if you wind up in the same spot. Okay, you have to really be very, very cognizant of what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right, and then also what you're reflecting over. All right, because if you reflect the wrong way, you'll wind up in the wrong spot. Okay, well, I'll just do it. I'll do it. We're going to start at 7, 2. So here's 7, and here's 2. That's my starting block. Move 3 units down, and I think I had you guys work on the separate coordinate plane sheets because this is a little difficult to read. So I made brand new ones, which I think are easier. But I'll use the one that's provided here. Move 3 units down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make a little mark, or you can make a pencil point, whatever you need to do to keep track. Then we reflect over the y-axis. So from here, I got to go over the y-axis, and I wind up here. I stay at this line right here. I'm going to stay at -1 when I reflect, but I've gone from now +7 to -7, and my final ending spot is -7, -1. Number 2. You wind up, if you do everything right, at 6, -2. Hands if you got it. Number 3. You wind up at 3, -2. Hands. Oh, really? Maybe I should do that one. I'm going to do this one. Start at -3, 0. So that is right on the x-axis, -3, 0. Reflect over the x-axis. And then move 6 units to the right. And then move up 2 units. Okay, so if you're at -3, 0, and you're on the x-axis, you can't reflect over the x-axis. Not able to do it. You can reflect over the y, but you can't reflect over the x. So you got to stay there. Then move 6 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm here. Move up 2 units. 1, 2. There. And then reflect over the x-axis again. Does that work out? Let's see. Oh, what I do? 6 units to the, oh, I'm sorry, 6 units to the right. So cross that out. Let me start over again. -3, 0. Can't reflect over x because I'm already on the x. 6 units to the right. I did that though. Oh, I moved to the left. Right. 1, see? Gotta pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm here. Move up 2 units. 1, 2. And then reflect over the x again. You wind up here. And that is +3, -2.
We got that one right.
Yes, Jordan.
Well, for both of them, I got -7 and -2. And I got more than 6 and 3. And I keep getting one ahead.
Okay, did you use this coordinate plane or did you use the one that was on the separate sheet? Okay, it can be a little confusing because the numbers here, see these numbers? They kind of block out these lines a little bit. So this is really your -1 line, and it's just a little difficult to read. I'd be curious to see how you did if you use a separate sheet.
If you were in like the first part, if you would count like this part like as one of the squares, if you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you just skip over this one.
I'll tell you what, after I'm done going over it, I'll go over it with you separately. Okay? Because I got to see what you were doing in order to figure it out and help. All right, number 4 is 2, -1. Hands if you got that right. Number 5 is -5, pos 1. Hands if you got it right. Okay, next page is a challenge, but they're great questions because it really is going to make you think. Again, it's difficult trying to navigate through this board that they give you, but we'll try our best. I'll try to explain why it's sometimes better to work in reverse. Looking at number 1, I have to begin at the origin, and I wind up at 5, -1. I'm going to put that on the map where 5, -1 should be, because you want to know where you need to get to. 5, -1 winds up being here. And they tell you you have to use exactly one reflection. You can't start off with a reflection because reflecting from 0, 0 gets you nowhere. If you're at the origin, there is no reflection either over x nor over y. So that tells me automatically that I need to start with some kind of move and worry about the reflection later. Sometimes it helps to work backwards. I know that I need to go here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my last step the reflection. You could reflect over the y, or we could reflect over the x. Yeah, Chris. Okay, let me show you 2 ways in which you can do it. Okay. I'm going to work backwards. I'm at 5, -1. I'm going to reflect over the x first. Just like this. I'm now at +5, +1. That's my last move. So look, I'm going to say reflect over x. Okay, that's my last step right here. I need a step here and a step. I'm going to list it up and down. Okay. In order to get to this point now, which is 5, 1, I'm going to make 2 moves. How do I get from here to here? Give me one possible move that I can do. Either give me the up, down first, or give me the left, right first. Go ahead, Chris. Okay, I'm going to move up 1. I'll make that my first step. Okay, now I'm here. What do I got to do next? Left or right? Move. Right. 5 blocks. And then test it to make sure it works. So what I do now, I'm able to erase. You guys don't need to erase, but I will. And I want to make sure it works. Starting at 0, 0. I know I have to wind up here. Let's see if I do. I move up 1. I'm here. Move right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reflect over x. I'm good. Win. It works. This one's even harder because they tell you you have to use 2 reflections. And if I had an opportunity to rewrite this, I would even tell you that those 2 reflections, one's got to be an x and one's got to be a y. Because you can actually do it with two x reflections. You go one, you go the other way, but it makes it too simple. I'm going to show it to you with an x reflection and a y reflection. Anybody get it? All right, let's see if it works. 1 second here, kid. Let me erase everything that we've got. We're starting at 0, 0, and I am going to mark where we need to wind up. We have to wind up at -1, -6. Okay. Tell me what you did. Okay, right one block. I wind up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm over here.
Reflect over x-axis.
Okay. That's over the x, right? Go.
Move up 4 blocks.
Crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead.
And reflect over y-axis.
Did I get that right? I'm here. What were my original coordinates? What did I have to be at? Oh, I had to be at -1, -6. You're right. You are correct. I had it originally wrong. That works. There's more than one answer. But she's got her two reflections and she's good. I would say that this one would be like a bonus question on a test. However, I think you should be able to do this with practice. All right, so, and that's what we're going to kind of do today anyway. I'm going to have you practice in pairs, and I'm going to show you a little game that you're going to play. Go to the problem set homework, which was 3 nights ago maybe, and I'll just go over the answers for that. I'll go through this kind of quickly, but if you need me to stop and explain something, let me know. Point A has to be at 9, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nine, -5. Quadrant 4. Then they tell you to reflect into quadrant 3, which is here. That automatically means in order to get there, I have to reflect over what axis? The y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to reflect over the y. And I wind up here, point B, and that is now -9, -5. We reflected over y. And the only difference between the two coordinates is which coordinate. What changes, the x or the y? What changes? The x changes. This is my x. It went from 9 to -9. Okay. It makes sense for me to stay on this page, even though the directions go on to the next page, because I need the coordinate plane to do it. So I'm going to stay on this page, and now they tell you to reflect into quadrant 2. That automatically means I need to cross over a what axis? Patrick, correct. So I've got to now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to reflect over x, and I wind up here, and they tell you to label that C. Patrick, what are those coordinates? Close. One of those is negative. Which one is negative? Right. Now they ask you, between B and C, what's the only difference? Take a look. If you didn't get it, you could do it now. It's up on the board. What coordinate changes its symbol? Kate. Right, so when you cross over the x-axis, the y-coordinate changes. The x-coordinate stays the same. Finally, we're going to do one more cross over the y, because we've got to get into quadrant 1. And when we do that, we wind up here. What are those coordinates? Somebody I haven't heard from, perhaps. What are those coordinates? If you didn't do it now. Raise your hand. What is that? Lauren.
9.
That is 9, 5. We crossed over y. What doesn't change, or what did change? Which coordinate is it, the x or the y, that changes when you go? The x changes from -9 to +9 when you go over the y. This is also a tricky question, but it's a great question. And the way to do it is you take these instructions. You know you have to start at -1, 0, which is here. And you got to wind up at 5, -3, which winds up being here. And the way to do it is you go through these directions. First, try it over the x-axis. And see if you wind up where you're supposed to wind up. Let's do it. Starting here, I'm going to move 7 units down. Everybody watch me. This is tiny also, but we'll do the best we can. I'm going to move 7 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm here. I'm going to reflect over x, and I wind up here. I'm going to move 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to move right 4 units. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Yes. Ready? I actually kind of gave the answer away, as you'll see. Reflect over x. My bad. You're going to wind up here. Move up 4 units. I kind of can't move up 4 units. I run out of space. But if I did, I'd wind up here. And then when I move to the right 4 units, I wind up here, and it's no good. Oh, right here. Can you tell I'm dyslexic? I'm over here. No good, I'm nowhere close. So now I'm going to try it over the y-axis, which I kind of gave it away when I did the first incorrect leap. Move down 7 units. Now reflect over the y. So far, so good. Move up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Move right. This way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. X marks the spot. It has to be the y-axis. It's a great question. Once you know what to do, it's a great question. Okay, so this is what you guys are going to do. You're going to play the navigation game with a partner. I'll explain it to you. Ryan, hand me one of those new grid sheets. Top of the white collator. Yeah, one of those. Everybody's going to get one of these. I have plenty of these. I want you to use these because they're just clearer. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to need a piece of loose leaf paper also, but don't take it out just yet. Working by yourself, you're going to create a set of directions. And your directions can be anything that you want, but your directions have to have 3 moves and 2 reflections. In any order that you want. So for instance, you could start off, say, You could, I'll give you a for instance. Start at, let's just say, 2, 1. You need 3 moves and 2 reflections. I'm going to start with a move. Move left 2 blocks. This is just an example. Reflect over X. Now I'm going to do a move. Move down 3 blocks. Don't write this down, just an example. Reflect over Y. I need one more move. Move right, I don't know, 4 blocks. And then I've got my 3 moves, I have my 2 reflections, and you can conclude by asking your partner, where am I? So you create whatever moves you want, whatever reflections you want. You've got to do it yourself because you need to know what the answer is. And then you pair with any partner that you want. They give you their directions. You take their direction. You exchange directions. And you play the navigation game and see if they get the navigation directions, if they do it correctly. You understand what you got to do? And then once you've done that, and let's say you both get it right, switch with another partner. So really, you only need one set of directions for each one of you, and then you guys could just keep exchanging with different partners to see if they get it right.
What if you get
Yeah, that's a good point. If they get a different coordinate, double check and make sure that you, as the direction creator, didn't get it wrong. So it's a good way to check each other out. If you're getting different answers, then get together and say, okay, one of us is right and one of us is wrong. I hope not. The idea is to practice and get it right. All right, so practice it and make sure that your directions are correct. Make sure that you wind up in the same spot that you're supposed to be at. If not, work it out with the partner that you exchange with and see who's right and who's wrong. Okay? All right, so on that note,
I'm leaving this as a template.
yeah, okay. We'll leave this up, and I'll stop this for now. And I'm going to do ball archery while you guys are doing this, okay? If you have tickets, and I know you do a lot, I'm going to try to get through everybody. If I don't get through everybody today, we'll finish it up on Monday.